Well, I don't know about you, but I think it's about time I made a long overdue return to Assetto Corsa. It's been ages since I last had a race in AC, so today I'm back on Low Fuel Motorsport to give this week's Mazda MX-5 Cup race a try at the Nürburgring. Now, I'm out of practice and I'm slow. I've qualified down in P11 on a stacked grid of 26. Can I find some extra race pace to make a challenge for the top 10? Let's find out. Well, the lights are green and we are underway. It is good to be back in Assetto Corsa. However, I am feeling incredibly rusty in this Mazda MX-5 Cup car. In qualifying, I was nearly 3 seconds slower than the pole position driver, Runa Rakis. Well, I need to find an extra few tenths too to even make it into the top 10, unless, of course, there is carnage at turn 1, which is so often the case here at the Nürburgring. And the yellow flags are out, but I can't see that we've lost anyone. There is a driver down on pace. Oh, he's well down on pace. That almost caught me out there. That was Michael Lucco. And I don't know if Lucco missed a gear or something like that. Thankfully, I was able to react just in time and squeeze up the inside. Lucco is challenging around the outside now, but I think I'm just far enough ahead to slam the door shut. Oh, it was close, but I've held on to my 11th position. Right, this is a 20-minute race, but we're on the sprint circuit, so shortly we're going to be braking hard and then swinging right. And it looked like Oscar Gallego in 9th position missed the apex there. That left a gaping hole on the inside for Gerald Nova to make the pass. So Nova is making good progress here. He actually started alongside me on the 6th row of the grid from P12. He managed to tuck it up the inside of me into T1, and he has continued to make progress here. Nova from 12th up into P9. Then we've got Oscar Gallego in 10th, me in 11th, Oscar Guerrero in 12th, and Michael Lucco in 13th. And it actually feels like I'm carrying a lot more pace than Oscar Gallego in front. I don't think I'm close enough to make a move up the inside into the chicane, but I can put him under some pressure. Meanwhile, Guerrero behind gives me a tap, and another one, and another one. He's pushing me out onto the grass here. I'm struggling to keep control of the car. It felt like Guerrero was trying to drive through me. That's the biggest hit yet. We've actually lost Guerrero. So all of a sudden, things getting incredibly rough at the end of this opening lap. I'm just about holding off Michael Lucco behind to keep this 11th position. Let's take another look at this one, because it was a succession of bumps from Oscar Guerrero behind in that red Mazda. Look how close he is coming out of the chicane. There's the first tap, there's the second one, and there's the third one, which pushes me out onto the grass. And at this point, he's trying to squeeze in between Lucco on the right, me on the left. I did turn in on him a little bit there, but there was just no room. I mean, I was trying really hard not to get bullied out of the position. I was certainly being bullied here, exiting the chicane. Not once, not twice, but 3 times I get nudged out onto the grass. And now we can see Guerrero going for the inside. I don't think he realises that Lucco is already there, and he just gets squeezed out. Start a lap 2 then, and the big question is, can I hold off Michael Lucco? I'm switching the TV cam on, showing Lucco's on board. We can get a different perspective and see just how much pressure he is putting me under here. Now, I know he's a faster driver. He started P7 on the grid, and his qualifying time was 8 tenths quicker than mine. So I know I'm going to be up against it here. Lucco has got some impressive pace, and he is now breathing down my neck as we wind our way around this tricky stadium section. And he's certainly smoother than me through that part of the track, and he's having a sniff up the inside now. He's got his nose alongside my rear wing. So that means I can't close the line off. I can't defend into this right-hander. Instead, I'm going to have to leave him the room on the inside and hope that I can carry enough momentum around the outside to hold on to the position, and it looks like I have done. So yeah, really good work there. It was absolutely vital that I didn't squeeze Lucco, because if I had done, his front left would have tagged my rear right, and there would have only been one outcome then, me spinning out. But for now, it looks like I've got a bit of breathing room behind me. However, I have lost substantial ground to the cars in front. Oscar Gallego now 1 second clear. So we're going to jump forward a lap towards the end of lap 3. And you'll see that I've done a good job of holding off Lucco. In fact, I've stretched my advantage to 0.6 of a second. And in doing so, I've closed in on Oscar Gallego in 10th. The gap to Gallego now just half a second. So things bubbling along quite nicely at the moment. We've just reached 1/4 race distance, so still 15 minutes left on the clock. Yellow flags are out ahead. Have we lost one of the drivers further up? Yes, we have. Oh, he's rejoining. Oh, and I just managed to squeeze through unscathed. I didn't think I was going to make it there. Deng was the driver returning to track. Well, let's go back and check out the replay to see what happened. And it's too much curb as he enters the chicane. He's just about managed to save it there, actually, but he gets rammed by the driver behind, and that's what sends him off. So yeah, bonus position for me, and that puts me up into the top 10. Now the question is, can I hold on to it? Because I'm still under immense pressure from the faster Michael Lucco behind. Now, if I start defending too hard against Lucco, there's every chance that I'm going to lose ground on this pack of cars in front. So there's always the option of letting Lucco go past. I'll keep that up my sleeve for now, though, because at the moment I'm doing a fairly decent job of staying within striking distance of these 4 cars ahead. In fact, we've lost one of them. That's Farbod Tirani, who's been spun round. Another car rejoining to the left. That's Andrew Sogeng. And just like that, I leap 2 places. I'm up from 10th into 8th. Let's take another look at this coming together. Tirani runs into the corner really hot. It looks like Sogeng behind is trying the switchback, but he just gets his timing all wrong and tags the rear of Tirani. Right, P8 then, and within striking distance of P6 now. Gerald Nova in 6th position, Gallego 7th, both within 1 second of me. However, if I thought the pressure was tough with just Michael Lucco behind, it is now double trouble. I've got Lucco and Sogeng, 2 quicker drivers right on my case in the rearview mirror. And I tell you what, it looks like Gallego in front might want a piece of Nova here. He's picked up a toe, he's carrying extra speed. Is he going to try and sling it up the inside of the chicane, or is Nova going to defend? Yeah, Nova taking the defensive line. So nowhere for Gallego to go. Nova's running too hot though. This might be an opportunity for Gallego. It might be an even bigger opportunity for me, because I can take 2 positions with 1 swoop. Fantastic. I just managed to readjust my line in the nick of time and tucked it up the inside of the pair of them. All of a sudden I find myself up into P6. Yeah, Nova's the leading car here, taking the defensive route into the chicane, but in doing so he runs in too hot. Gallego behind gambles on the outside. He gets pinched, and that gives me the opportunity to dive up the inside and make a double pass. Wow, the tension is rising, and we're not even at the halfway point of the race yet. I'm in 6th position, but I am under immense pressure from not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 cars behind. I'm switching the TV cam back on because we need to keep one eye on this battle. There's less than 1 second separating all 4 of them. Now currently we're watching Gerald Nova in 7th position, but he is being closely followed by Andrew Sogeng in 8th, Michael Lucco in 9th, and Oscar Gallego in 10th. Right, what's the gap back to Nova? 0.5 of a second as we enter this sharp right-hander. However, I will gain a couple of tenths on exit because Nova just missed the apex there. It was only a slight miscalculation, but it looks like he may have pulled the other drivers behind him into making exactly the same mistake. And I need these guys to start tripping each other up if I'm going to make a break for it. Look at Sogeng now. He's making a move out the inside of Nova. There's contact. Nova spins out. Oh, they've all gone. Big wreck in the rearview mirror. Sogeng may just have survived it. I can't quite see, but the other 3 certainly weren't so lucky. Gallego, gone. Lucco, gone. Nova, gone. And I'm in a clear 6th position. The pressure is off, and just as the pressure is off, I make a mistake of my own. Would you believe it? I just carried a bit too much speed into the chicane. The car oversteered. Thankfully, I managed to keep it pointing the right direction. But yeah, there's the answer to my question earlier. Sogeng did survive, and he's got 6th position back because of my own careless mistake. Thankfully though, damage was limited. I've only lost 1 position, and I may be in with a good shout of getting it right back here because I've got extra speed coming down this start-finish straight. I'm going to pull alongside Sogeng. He wisely takes the defensive line into turn 1. I don't think there's going to be a way around here, but maybe he might run in a little bit too hot into turn 1. No, he gets it perfect. So it's P7 for me now as we approach the halfway point of the race, but crucially I have a clear rear view mirror. Let's go back and see what happened behind me at the end of this previous lap. We're watching Gerald Nova in 7th position. He is going to come under attack from Andrew Sogeng. Sogeng having a look up the inside into this right-hander. He just clips the rear of Nova's car, and then all hell breaks loose. In an instant, 3 of my nearest challengers are out of the race. But honestly, I thought P7 was going to be as good as it could possibly get for me. We're returning to the live action towards the end of the penultimate lap. One more lap to go after this one, and as you can see from the leaderboard, I didn't have the pace to stick with Andrew Sogeng. He has opened up an advantage of more than 5 seconds. However, as we come through the final turn, yellow flags are out, and Sogeng has gone. I'm in 2 minds over which way to go. I end up going left out onto the grass. That's going to earn me a track cut warning, but that's the least of my worries at the moment because it's promoted me back up into 6th position. And yeah, these Mazdas are an absolute nightmare on the curbs, and that's what's caused Sogeng to spin out here. A momentary lapse in concentration. He clips that curb on the inside of the final turn, and it sends him into the dirt. Well, I certainly didn't think I was going to be in contention for a top 6 finish here, but I've got 1 lap to hold on. I know Sogeng's a lot quicker, but he's 1.5 seconds back at the moment, and he's also got his hands full with Deng, so I'm switching the TV cam back on to get the perspective from Deng's on board. I'm hoping he can do me a colossal favour here. I need Deng to keep Sogeng busy. The longer that Sogeng's got his hands full with Deng, the less likely he is to concentrate on catching me up. However, Deng wasn't quite as smooth as I'd have liked to have seen through that section, and he's lost a bit of ground to Sogeng. I don't think he's close enough to be putting the 7th place driver under pressure at the moment, and that is telling in the times because he is closing in on me now. The gap 1.2 seconds. I still think that might just be enough for me because we've only got half a lap to go now. However, it is imperative that I don't make any mistakes through this final sector. But look at Deng now. He is really pushing. In fact, he's pushing a little bit too hard. We've lost Deng, crashing out into the barrier. And now it's a race for the line, but it's looking good. I've got a 1.4 second advantage over Sogeng now. As long as I get through this final chicane okay, I should be sure of this top 6 finish. And of course, this is the corner where I made the mistake earlier in the race, which looked like costing me 6th position. Thankfully, no repeat blunder this time. I'm just 1 corner from the checkered flag now. What's the gap back to Sogeng? 1.1 seconds. So he has taken a couple of tenths out of me, but it's nowhere near enough. I am going to win the race to the line to take that 6th position. Well, if this was based on outright pace alone, I shouldn't have been anywhere near P6. I'm the only driver in the top 10 who wasn't even quick enough to get into the 143s. But what I lacked in speed, I more than made up for in consistency. I drove a really sensible race here, apart from one little mistake at the midway point, and as a result, I have beat a lot of higher rated drivers. So yeah, really enjoyed this one. It's always a treat to come back to Assetto Corsa, and today it hasn't disappointed. Thank you ever so much for watching.